So we've done exponentials, we've done exponential functions, and we've done properties of logarithms. So let's do logarithm functions. So what is a log function? If f of x is an exponential, so b to the x, whatever your base b is, then the inverse of that is log base b of x. So the log function is the inverse of an exponential. What does that mean for us? That means that log base b of b to the x is going to be x. So it's like I'm raising b to a power and then undoing it. But also b to the log base b of x is x. So these two are inverses. Remember, inverse function. So what you kind of want to think in your head is that f inverse of f of x is x, and also f of f inverse of x is x. So because they're inverses, logarithm undoes the exponential, and the exponential undoes the logarithm. So this is your log function, log base b of x. Now what does the graph look like? Well, to look at the graph, I'm going to first draw the exponential. So here's my b to the x for b greater than 1. To find the inverse of a graph, you just flip it across the line y equals x. So if you flip it across the line y equals x, that'll give you your new inverse. So when you flip it across this line, that means all your y's go to x's and all your x's go to y's. So this point that was at 0, 1, that's going to switch to be 1, 0. And now what happens here? As x goes towards infinity, so x grows larger and larger, y also goes towards infinity. So what does that mean for us? That means that as x goes x goes towards infinity, y also goes towards infinity. So that'll look like that. And now as x grows smaller and smaller, y gets closer to 0. So as x gets closer to 0, y is going to become more and more negative. So this is log base b of x for b greater than 1. Now I could also do this for b less than 1. So if you remember, what was the graph of the exponential for b less than 1? It was this. So this was b to the x for b less than 1. If I flip this across the line y equals x, so here's my line y equals x, again it's going to go through the point 0, 1, but now I look like this. So this is log base b of x for b less than 1. And again, these are found by flipping them across the line y equals x. So what should you take away from this? We know what the graphs of exponentials look like. From that we can get the graphs of logarithms. Logarithms are always going to go through the point 1, 0. So any base I choose, it's going to go through that. If I choose b to be greater than 1, then I'm going to go towards infinity, so this is b greater than 1. If I choose b to be less than 1, then I get smaller and smaller. So this is log base b of x for b less than 1. Two examples. First one, let's graph f of x equals log base 2 of x. Here my base is larger than 1, so I'm going to go through the point 1, 0, and then I'll have an increasing function. Second example, let's graph f of x is log base 0.5 of x. Still going to go through the point 1, 0, but now I have a base that's less than 1, so that's my graph. So this is f of x. So depending on what your base is, will tell you the shape, just like with exponentials. The important part to know though is that they are inverses.